see we can see how things are going to go. So I urge you to subscribe, share this link so that everyone of you is able to watch and follow as we take on this Premier League match of today. So I urge you to subscribe, just Rex Live, and be able to follow us in this Matchweek 6. So remember, this is when we've come to this match, Arsenal is very, very bad position. See here, they are in the seventh position right now in this match. But remember, they haven't played. So let's wait and see how the match between them versus Newcastle will end up. As I told you already, the match between these two have already kicked off, and I'm here to take you through which lineup one has brought. And when we are to start, let's start with the lineup of Newcastle. For Newcastle, Nick Pope is in the goal. Tino Livramento, Malik Thiaw, Sven Botman, Dan Ban. They are in the defense of 4-3-3 formation, and Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali, and Joe Linton in the midfield. And they will be supplying to Jack Murphy, Nick Ultimate, and Anthony Gordon. Then for Arsenal, David Raya is in the goal in the formation of 4-2-3-1. Ricardo Calafiori, Gabriel Magalhaes, Christian Mosquera, Julian Timber in the defense, and in the midfield of two Declan Rice and Martins Bimendi will be supplied to Leandro Trossard, Gareth Eze, and Bukayo Saka, who will then be supplying to Victor Gyökeres as I get it. But both teams have injuries of their major players, like Fabian Shah is having a head injury, Jacob Ramsey is having an ankle, and Johan Musa is having an injury. But on the side of Arsenal, Piero Hincapié is having a brain injury, and Madueke injury, Gabriel Jesus is having a ligament injury, and is having an injury. So that is Mikel Arteta for you. On the bench, we are having Pep Arteta, William Saliba, Ben White, Kelly, Martin Odegaard, Christian Mudrak, Miguel Merino, Max Doman, and Gabriel Martinelli. And on the side of Eddie Howe, we have Aaron Ramsdale, Kylian Trippier, Jamal Lascelles, Emily Clough, Harvey Barnes, Joe Willock, Lewis Mail, William Osula, and Anthony Elanga. That is the Newcastle for you guys. So I will continue to urge you to subscribe to just Rex Live so that you don't miss out what is going on in these two teams that are playing right now. Arsenal will be taking on Newcastle in today's match. So I urge you to subscribe to Just Rex Live, share this link so that everyone is able to follow us as we start on the match. So I urge you
talking point this season
to subscribe to Just Rex Live. So Gabriel is having the ball, and David Raya is now having the ball and puts it up here Zubimendi, Saka. Oh, Timber brings in. Oh, Declan Rice, Eberich Eze combine here. Eberich Eze almost gets a goal for Arsenal, but Nick Pope was equal to the challenge, and he has made a very, very wonderful save here. Eberich Eze, a cross brought in by Zubimendi. Wow. And it's a corner kick. It's a corner kick for Arsenal. It's a corner kick for Arsenal. Nick Pope saves the match. Oh, Arsenal defends it very well. David Raya with the ball puts it up here as we can see. Oh, very easy. So sad now. Julian Timber to Saka. Timber. Oh.
so quick.
Wednesday against Bradford, it's as many goals as they have scored in their other 6 games this season combined, hoping they can find that scoring touch. Certainly missed him.
Free kick for Arsenal. He's done his defensive duties there, but Anthony Gordon, as soon as he picks it up, that is a lovely ball into the area. It's just saying, go and attack me.
First 12 minutes of this match have flown by. Quick pace of the game. Turner's ball in. Chow again is close, looking for his first goal for Newcastle. The last touch there off a defender, and Newcastle will get another corner kick.
It's going to be a lot more dangerous, I would say, because this will be the in-swinger from Tonali, so don't be surprised if you see a lot more players go. They've all been standing on the outside of the penalty area for the distribution of the outswinger. They're going to go inside the 6-yard box, right on top of Raya here, the goalkeeper, to make it so difficult for him to see the ball.
To get on with it, Raya with a very important firm touch. This is Livramento. River Gimenez. It's his fellow Brazilian Gabriel. Eze. Spin on that. Controlled by second. Chow immediately in to greet him. Full ball though from Murphy, and Pope brings down Gyökeres, and the referee points to the spot. It's a penalty to Arsenal. Misplaced touch of defence, put everything in disarray, and Nick Pope takes down Victor Gyökeres.
Victor Gyökeres gets Arsenal a penalty.
Well, I can't see how this decision can get changed, Connor.
13 minutes.
Because I think there's definitely contact by Nick Pope's reaction.
And Saka
Gyökeres was the quickest to react.
Wow.
It's come from Newcastle's one end of the field with 3 corners.
Thanks
it's a lovely touch here by Saka when he brings it down, but Newcastle and Chow do so well.
That
Murphy
was
with the
so
back
wonderful.
pass. You can see that Gyökeres takes his touch, and as all good strikers do, as soon as you know that goalkeeper is coming out and you've got the advantage, I'm just taking a little touch past him, and there's contact.
VAR is doing its review, guys.
Quarter of an hour in, and suddenly concern now for Eddie Howe. Well, this has not been rubber stamped just yet. Jared Gillett's been asked to come across for an on-field review. Big point here is, does Nick Pope get a touch before he makes contact with the opponent? So imagine he's an outfield player here. Does he get the ball first?
Well, Gyökeres definitely gets the first touch on the ball. Nick Pope's leg, his foot touches the ball as well before there's contact. So maybe this is VAR where it comes in, and it could be a fantastic decision.
So no doubt Gyökeres touches it first, but then does Pope touch the ball before he connects?
I think
with
he does, Connor.
And does that make it a legitimate outstretch of the leg because he got the ball? You wouldn't say it's a reckless lunge. He stretches, he gets the ball, then the connection with Gyökeres. This is the decision that Jared Gillett is going to have to make here.
Well, there's the first touch from Gyökeres. There's the touch from Pope. And now it's all up to whether Jared Gillett and VAR, Darren England, decide that it's classed as a foul because there's a contact after the touch from Pope. But I can't see how that can be given as a penalty. I mean, when you see it at that kind of pace, Connor, there's only one decision you're going to make: penalty. But as we slowed it down and we saw that there is a touch from Nick Pope.
Jared Gillett, who's been invited by the video assistant referee to look at this, he's watching several of the replays, as you can see. Here comes the decision.
after review, the Newcastle goalkeeper plays the ball and there is no foul.
All they needed to hear was there is no foul. That was enough for the Newcastle fans to celebrate. That's what Mikel Arteta thinks about it. That's a big decision in a game like this.
Tell you what, he doesn't tend to get many decisions here, Mikel Arteta.
Penalty
Do you remember the
cancelled.
goal that Newcastle scored? They said it was a foul on Gabriel.
And
then
there
he blamed
was
the
no
football
foul.
here. I think it was in
Nick
the cup
Pope
rounds.
first touched the ball
that
before
one.
it went.
Well, we've seen it in slow motion. There is obviously Gyökeres has touched the ball. Nick Pope gets the touch. Correct decision. VAR.
Oh, Nick Pope
Darren
touched
England
the
have done
ball.
a fantastic job there.
Arsenal lost the
So
chance to get
Newcastle
his first
breathe
goal.
again. Arsenal will feel a little hard done by.
And the match
Gyökeres,
is
who
still
scored the
0-0.
only penalty Arsenal have had this season against Leeds.
Well, don't get us wrong. I've called that in full time, at full pace, penalty. So that's exactly what Jared Gillett has seen on the field, because it looked like it, and that is where VAR, love it or hate it, at times it comes in and it gets the correct decision. And Nick Pope, as a goalkeeper, will be absolutely delighted that they've seen that in the way that he has done his job.
Livramento back to Nick Pope. You could see the concern etched all over Eddie Howe's face when the penalty was originally awarded, but that gush now, that release from the Newcastle fans, giving an even bigger boost to what had already been a bubbling atmosphere here.
Oh, the game has definitely started very well. Arsenal, they've shown what they can do as Saka gets the ball and Eze. They're going to cause problems. Newcastle have obviously had their chances from the set plays. But it just showed you how quickly Arsenal went from one end of the field to the other in transition.
Pointed that up against Mosquera. The Arsenal central defender stood his ground admirably there. This is Bruno Guimaraes. Liverpool's defeat at Crystal Palace yesterday has opened a door of opportunity for Arsenal today. They can move within 2 points of the leaders with a win here. Stakes are high. Botman. Joe Linton returns towards Gordon. Good touch again from Mosquera. Gabriel's header goes straight to Bruno Guimaraes. Now some space for Livramento. Murphy. Joelinton too congested. This is that pass was a little soft there, and then they're all appealing how the last touch came off there, and could it even have been a handball off Gabriel? He's looking a little bit sheepish, but I don't think they'll get a spot kick for this. Natural position of the arm. I think it's his stomach anyway. Corner. Jacob Murphy, who scored in the League Cup last season here against Arsenal at St James's Park. Calafiori greets this one. Here is Anthony Gordon. Looking for Sandro Tonali. It's Dan Burn. Tonali couldn't find the pass to Bruno Guimaraes as Declan Rice clears for Arsenal. Gyökeres getting a few boos from the Newcastle fans, and I think that's a bit misplaced. No suggestion that he dived for that penalty appeal. It was just that Pope had the touch first before the contact. Bruno Guimaraes fouled by Declan Rice. 2 goals against Newcastle in his career for the England international. One of them back in his West Ham United days.
Newcastle normally love to play through Tonali, Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes, but they're having such a tough job because the tight man-to-man marking of Zubimendi, Rice and Eze, it's been very, very difficult, and that's why you see every time Bruno takes a touch, he's got somebody Declan Rice behind him, giving away the foul.
This is Newcastle's 7th game of the season between the Premier League and the Champions League, and they've only had 1 win so far in those 6 games before today. Saka blocked by Gordon, but Arsenal get what they so often crave, a corner kick. Almost midway through this first half at St James's Park. A few big talking points already here today.
That's where Arsenal, you can see the difference in set plays. We've seen Newcastle players all on the edge of their area for their corners. They've seen them on top of David Raya. Now you see where Arsenal have gone. They always go to the back post area, overload, and it's so hard to track the runners.
Saka's delivery, very deep. Trossard peeling off. Here is Zubimendi. Declan Rice. Trossard again. Real hunger about Bruno Guimaraes, but he gives away the free kick. Promising position this for Arsenal.
Once again, Newcastle's organisation. We saw a set play from Declan Rice early on in this game. When Newcastle held the line, the Arsenal players will drop at the back post area. They'll make a run in between the zones of the Newcastle lineup, and it's whether Newcastle want to retreat and give the advantage to Arsenal, whether they're brave enough to hold the line to catch them offside.
It's very zonal there from Arsenal, isn't it? They're not going man to man at all. They're allowing this cluster of Arsenal players to sit in space because they know they're going to move infield. Gyökeres stayed at the back, and it became a free header for him. Last touch of Calafiori. It's always fascinating to watch how Arsenal do prepare for these set-piece situations.
It is, and that's what I was saying. You'll see them back post, they go in between the lines, and then they're waiting for the defenders to drop to give them the advantage. If Newcastle are brave enough to hold their line, you catch them offside. As you can see, when you get it spot on, it's such a nightmare for defenders.
Calafiori, who scored in the win over Manchester United on the opening weekend of the season back in August. Joelinton's touch, Gabriel, Voltavada. The combination between height and strength and skill too for the German. Ultimately outnumbered there. Saka. Julian Timber. This is Gyökeres, Saka. Joelinton slid in, but Saka was able to swerve. And this is Declan Rice and Leandro Trossard! So close for Arsenal! That was a sweeping move! I think the woodwork at the Gallagher end is still rattling. And this is Declan Rice and Leandro Trossard! So close for Arsenal! That was a sweeping move! Never really caught hold of it, but end-to-end of the moment at St James's Park.
It certainly was, and Trossard, you said it's rattling the post. Well, I don't know how it didn't snap, because Gyökeres did such a good job here. See Joelinton diving and Saka. Now just watch the 2v1 here. Declan Rice against Livramento, and he plays Trossard in. He does everything right apart from put it in the back of the net, and thankfully for Newcastle and Nick Pope, it was the post that saved them. But that just shows how quick Arsenal, when they're in full flow from one end of the field to the other, and if you dive in and you leave a man exposed, they were so unlucky.
2 goals, 2 assists in his last 4 games for Leandro Trossard. I mean, you really can't get any closer than this. The inside of the post.
Well, I mean, look how far the ball ricocheted out of the goal. It almost came back to the halfway line where we were sitting. That's how much power Trossard got behind that.
So a penalty overturned. Now a shot off the post. Arsenal feel they're getting closer and closer, but will they rue these moments not ending up as goals? Touch from Trossard, away by Chow. Livramento. To pressure from Trossard. He didn't get a touch on it, it's a goal kick. Well, this has been the big talking point here today, Michael.
Yes, and originally when I first saw it, you'll see Murphy plays the back pass. Gyökeres quick to react, the striker. In full motion, I'm going penalty. I'm the striker, I've seen the touch. But when we slowed it down, and Darren England said, Jared Gillett, there's a touch off the foot of Nick Pope. And obviously the manager, he's never going to agree with the decision, is he? But I think they got it absolutely spot on.
These narrow moments, these tiny margins could have such a big impact. Here is Bukayo Saka. Timber. It's an awkward bounce, did well to get a shot away. Newcastle's defence, which has been so solid all season, ushers that one clear again.
He's such a threat. I was just saying, if Newcastle don't track this man, they don't get the communication right in midfield from Tonali, whoever's going to pick up Eza, they're going to have issues because he's just finding lovely pockets of space.
Calafiori spotted a towel which was available behind the goal line, which he wanted to dry the ball with. However, referee Jared Gillett said no, so it's the old-fashioned wipe it with the shirt. Good bounce. This is Eza! What a save from Nick Pope! That Newcastle goalkeeper sometimes does perform real miracles.
Well, you don't want to see your goalkeeper making as many saves, but when he has to, Nick Pope this season, and especially in this game, it comes through the bodies there from Eza. Look at the vision that he's got on this. He's got to adjust and believe that he's read the right angle from the shot from Eza, because the connection on the strike is absolutely beautiful. And Nick Pope equal to it.
Ever Eze, 34 Premier League goals for Crystal Palace in the past. He's yet to score against Newcastle in his career. Jared Gillett having a word with Joe Linton here.
Tell you what, at times like that, when you've caught the ball so sweetly with your left foot and your right foot, at times you think, I wish I just miskicked it. It might have gone in, because he can't hit them any better.
Better for Chow. Eze down. Livramento just about away. Timber, good control. And it's going to go out for a corner kick again. We've reached the half-hour mark here. Still Newcastle 0, Arsenal 0. But so much goal-mouth action already.
It certainly is, and especially the last 5 minutes have been all Arsenal. You can tell by the atmosphere at St James's Park. If you ask me, would they try and nullify them? Well, they have done. You can hear the atmosphere. It's just on tenterhooks, because Arsenal have got another corner.
We'll get a break in play. We'll talk about why they weren't allowed to use the towel to dry the ball there again, but you can't take your eye off this at the moment. It is in the rules. It's one of the lesser known rules, but clubs voted on it a few seasons back. Here comes Bukayo Saka. Trossard's unmarked to the back post. Look at that, nowhere near it. Trossard wasn't able to pick out a teammate. He'll try again. Nick Pope. Gordon in pursuit of this, and Raya has to sweep.
I don't think you're going to have any time in this half to tell us about the towel, because you'll see the set play to the corner, and again, it's that back post area. They do it so well, Arsenal. Trossard finds himself free. Newcastle will be addressing that at half-time, because there's definitely somebody getting blocked to get the extra player at that back post area.
It's been a good reaction from Mikel Arteta's team, having had the penalty overruled. His team haven't allowed their body language to grow negative. In fact, there's been a lot of attacking from Arsenal since then. Here they come again. Gyökeres to Bukayo Saka. Down Burns struggling to keep up with him here. Shot on target from Saka. And Nick Pope stands firm once more. But that's going to be a concern for Newcastle here, the pace of Saka.
Yeah, I did call it, Connor, before kick-off when I saw that Dan Burn Livermento had been taken to the right-back position, Trippier off, because I thought this was going to be inevitable. Once Saka gets the ball and he's going to go and run, there's no chance Dan Burn's going to catch him. And thankfully, again for Newcastle, Nick Pope's done it.
Those possession stats just showing the dominance that Arsenal have had over the last 10 minutes.
It's the areas of the field where they've had it as well, Connor. It's not like Arsenal have had the possession in their defensive half. It's all been the mid-third to Newcastle's defensive end.
Saka sends it in. This time Newcastle with extra policing of that back post area. Tonali was able to usher it out. 4 defeats in the last 5 visits here. It sums up how difficult a venue this has been for Mikel Arteta. Eddie Howe, who has won 4 of his last 6 games against Arsenal. He's probably used up a few of his 9 lives already in this opening 32-33 minutes. Look at that, though. Newcastle, who've had a quarter of the number of touches in the opposition box that Arsenal have had so far.
Yeah, well, that's the stat you look for if you're on the coaching staff. You're always looking to see how many touches you can get inside the opposition's box, and that is a huge amount for Arsenal. The positive for Newcastle, the scoreline is still 0-0, and Nick Pope has saved them on numerous occasions. I'm sure that Eddie Howe's notebook at half-time, there'll be a lot on there where they're trying to work out how they can beat this press of Arsenal and just get comfortable on the ball, because Newcastle haven't been able to get any possession really going.
Newcastle do get a corner kick here. 3rd Premier League game for Nick Voldemade. Tonali takes his time over placing the ball for this one. Dan Burn going right in front of David Raya. Burn and Voldemade, 2 giants there inside the Arsenal 6-yard box. Gordon, back to Tonali. Dangerous swing on that, he's up and he's in! Nick Voldemade, it's another header for the big German! Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half, and Newcastle United strike. 2 goals in the Premier League, both headers for Nick Voldemade.
Well, we talked about Arsenal, how good they are at set plays, but I'll tell you what, Newcastle here recognised that they had a 2v1 because Anthony Gordon came out alongside Tonali. Arsenal only sent 1 player out, and they thought, you know what it is, we're not putting this into an area.
And Mosquera, the man who needlessly conceded the corner, will be feeling worried now.
Let's have a look here, the 2v1, they recognise it, and as they come out, Tonali just puts into a dangerous area. Voldemade, it's such a good header. He gets himself up, there's headers down, David Raya having no chance. When you go low and hard into that bottom corner, and Arsenal claiming there's a foul there, it's just a little hand, it's a touch, and Gabriel's got to be stronger than that. If he's going to claim that that's a foul, he's kidding himself. Voldemade, another header for Newcastle.
Gabriel absolutely collapsing amidst the touch from Voldemade. It'll all be looked at in the background, but Newcastle celebrate.
That's a brilliant set play from Newcastle against the set play masters of Arsenal. I have to say at half-time, Arsenal and Arteta, they'll be angry, because the way they allowed a 2v1, but also the way Gabriel went down with ease. If you're a centre-half and you get a little impact like that and you go down, you've cost your team a goal.
Well, the discussions continue. There was no long pursuing of the replays there. May have been a touch, but it is a contact sport. That was not a shot sufficient enough to force the collapse of Gabriel. Suddenly, Arsenal find themselves chasing Newcastle's lead. Botman, dominant Denny. Trossard tried to shield it. Tonali didn't stand on ceremony. Raucous atmosphere here, and Newcastle have got a lot of wind in their sails thanks to this Voldemar goal.
Well, we're going to get one more look, and you can see there, he just plays it. But it's all about the delivery from Tonali. Puts into an area, a dangerous area. David Raya, he comes out to try and commit. He realises he can't. He doesn't want to get caught in no man's land. And as all good strikers do, you're told to head the ball back across goal, low and hard into the corner. And when he looks back at Arteta at half-time with his staff, he'll realise that whatever he said to the fourth official there on a foul, he'll recognise that it was his centre-half going down far too easy.
The opening goal came 36 minutes on the clock. Goals which have been so precious for Newcastle this season. That one feels very weighty in its significance.
I mean, how much was it against the run of play? We've talked about Arsenal's touches in Newcastle's box. Newcastle only had 4, but I'll tell you what, the one that mattered, and Voldemar, the swing and the momentum was incredible.
Here is Calafiore. Last weekend, Arsenal did go behind at home to Manchester City. They were able to come back and salvage things late on. Long way to go here, but there's no denying what a good start this is for Newcastle. Saka. Anthony Gordon leading into it. Referee says play on. Timber. Gordon slow to get back to his feet. Eze. Again, Arsenal on a free kick, and again the referee says no. Tackles flying in everywhere.
It was Timber and Anthony Gordon. Don't think it's going to be any further action taken. Jared Giller just wants to take the sting out of this at the moment. The referee, you just see here, just catches Anthony Gordon on the toes. Whistle goes. This has been incredible first half. We said it would be exciting and end-to-end, Connor. The players have certainly delivered.
That's really good from Tonali. Continuing his run. He's dragged Gabriel out of the centre. Bruno Gimenez. Well tracked by Calafiore. Voldemar. Gordon. Confidence coursing through the Newcastle veins now. Trossard. Botman slides, so it comes off Tonali. It's a little unlucky for Newcastle, that. Let's see if Gyökeres can take advantage. Up against Chow. Victor Gyökeres tried the little chop turn and didn't. Malik Chow do really well. What an atmosphere inside St James's Park at the moment.
Even Tonali's just put his foot on the ball. He's put his hands on his knees and he just wants a breather. I think he's still feeling a little bit from the challenge when the ball hit him in the midriff. I think he's winded. Well, you see there the possession of Arsenal, 57-43. The attempts in their favour as well. In Newcastle, they were under a lot of pressure from Arsenal. We saw that window of opportunity, but I tell you what, one moment of madness.
This was just in the aftermath of the kick-off. Once play resumed after the goal, and you can see Gabriel and Voldemar just clashing again, but it's, I think, 6-1. Voldemar wasn't interested in the handshake being offered by Gabriel, by the way.
This is going back to the kick-off now. You know, when the ball goes back to David Raya, Baltimore is just trying to get through the two centre-halves, because I actually saw that happen when they did the kick-off.
He is the first Newcastle United player in 13 years now, Nick Baltimore, to score in each of his first 2 Premier League home games for the club. I mean, big boots to fill with the departing Alexander Isak, but this guy's got big feet.
Well, when you're getting deliveries like this into an area and you find the space inside the 6-yard box, he scored against Wolves with his header on his debut, and I think that's a marvellous finish. You know, you've just got to use the quality of the cross to redirect it towards goal, and he's becoming a fan's favourite, and his early outings at St James's Park.
I think this is a tussle to keep an eye on for the remainder of this afternoon. Both each have plenty to say. Sandro Tonali claiming the assist, the Italians first in the Premier League this season. Dan Burn. Botman. Saka unable to keep the ball in play. Sandro Tonali returns to the field. Today his 50th Premier League appearance for Sandro Tonali. Dan Burn, no one had made the run for him. Long way to go here, but I did mention earlier on, Michael, the penalty overruled, the Trossard shot that hit the inside of the post. Sometimes you need those to go in to get the benefit of your period on top.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Arsenal start feeling sorry for themselves, then there's only going to be one way this match goes. They've just got to try and concentrate on what worked well for them in their moments when they got the penalty decision, when they got the shot for Trossard, when they made a 2v1 in wide areas. And obviously the advantage, I think, Arsenal have got with Saka against Dan Burn down this right-hand side.
Bukayo Saka back up on his feet. He's been, from the get-go today, a very closely marked man.
And would Eddie Howe at half-time decide to do a Pep Guardiola Man City and change and make 3 centre-halves in Chow, Botman and Dan Burn? You've got Livramento to play left wing-back, Murphy right wing-back.
Zubimendi here. Stretching it towards Timber. Here is Bukayo Saka. Newcastle fans. Thought it was a handball, and the referee, Jerry Gillett, agrees. Fourth official. Getting ready to show the board here. And you would imagine there'll be considerable stoppage just to be added on here amidst a first half that has had a lot. Of incident. Anthony Taylor, who's the fourth official today. There will be 7 minutes added on as additional. Flicked on by Byrne. Is Joelinton again. Times a scrappy game today, but Newcastle seem to be relishing that aspect of it.
I'll tell you what, I thought Arteta was going to challenge Joe Linton on the sideline here when Joe Linton took a touch. Arteta started to animate. He's just been told by the fourth official to relax. Another opportunity for Newcastle to get the ball into a dangerous area in the final third here.
Anthony Gordon, the Newcastle player who went down there. Saka can't pick out a teammate. Disappointed to see their team lose at Crystal Palace yesterday, but you'd imagine Liverpool fans looking on from afar at this will be very pleased at how Newcastle are upsetting Arsenal for now. Here is Julian Timber, though. Oh, slipping in disappointing moments. Gordon. He tried to run around the other side of Saka and was tripped. And that is a free kick to Newcastle. Gordon would have had a whole touchline to run down there.
See Anthony Gordon, he just flicks it round the other side of Saka. You think there's much contact. I was more impressed with Altamara just before that because the hold-up play, he scored the goal for Newcastle. The hold-up play is shown. To bring other players into the game for Newcastle, he's just given his team a breather as well whenever he holds that ball. Up. So he's not going to threaten with runs in behind, but they're looking for Murphy and Gordon to make them runs.
Centre of Tonali's free kick, high and hopeful. Commanding header by Gabriel. It's Gyökeres. Now Saka's got space. Tonali the nearest to him. Gyökeres, uncertain touch. And anyway. Will do for Nick Pope there. Fiore, difficult technique to try and pull that one off, much to the joy of the Gallagher end. It ends up in amongst them.
I think we saw there Arsenal, when they're trying to play them threaded passes.
Available on the Arsenal bench, and anyhow we'll know that Mikel Arteta has as much he can throw at him in the second half to come here.
And I think that's why we're seeing so many late goals in the Premier League thus far this season, because there's that much quality comes on off the benches. You don't know the jobs and roles and responsibilities when they come on, they make mistakes. So I think they definitely kind of, when you look at that bench, there's going to be impact players coming on that can definitely influence this game.
Nice back to Gabriel. Trossard. Zubimendi.